Welcome back to Bay Area Focus. Based in Redwood City with affiliates across the U.S., Raising a Reader brings families together through books. Gabrielle Miller and Nancy Yu from Raising a Reader join me now. Thanks so much for coming on.
Thanks for having us. We're glad to be here.
All right, Raising a Reader, that's so important, isn't it?
Yes, we're so excited to do what we do. We work with families all across the country to help them develop, practice, and maintain the habits that they need to share books on a regular basis. And research tells us that it is among the very most important things that families can do to help children succeed. And it's always a challenge to do that. So we're proud to be able to help them make that happen.
And these habits should really start young.
They should. However, even if they don't, there's plenty of time. Kids are pretty resilient and brains can come back. But yes, birth to 8, we're a program, we have programs where our young moms read to babies prenatally. So yes, birth to age 8 is the focus of our program. And it all happens with these little bags.
Okay, tell me about the
magic
bags.
is in these bags. So each week, each child takes home a different red bag with 4 high-quality books in them, and they're in many, many different languages. And each week, each child goes home and says, "Share a book with me." And so they become these magical, wonderful things in the bags. You can kind of see some of the books. And these bags don't just go home in a vacuum. Parents understand why they're coming home. They understand why it's important to share books. The very best science we can find, we share that with parents. And so week after week, the habit develops. Once we get to the point where families have developed the habit, we want to maintain that habit. And we do that with this little blue bag.
Okay.
And there are library events where the time that families have shared books together is celebrated. And
hold up the bag so we can
there you
see
go.
it.
Yes,
there you
yes.
go. Okay, so it says My Library Book Bag.
Yes, it says My Library Book Bag. And so this is their library bag they get to keep. And the message is, look at what we've done. We've changed our family habits forever. Now instead of borrowing books from school, we'll borrow from the library. And so we sustain it that way.
Nancy, Gabrielle was talking about some of the challenges families face. Why is it so challenging?
Well, you know, some of the barriers that prevent parents from reading examples are time, right? Lots of parents are working parents, so there's not a lot of time that gets devoted. But we tell parents, you know, 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, any length of time that you can spend with your child sharing books is great for them in the long run.
And I like the fact that it's never too late.
It's never too late. One other little thing that lives in this bag is this DVD.
Okay.
And this DVD is 13 minutes long. It's in 15 different languages. And it's not a woman with a PhD saying, you should read to your kids. It's parents talking to other parents saying, I didn't want to read to my child because my child squirms, or I might make a mistake, or whatever. And then at the end of the DVD, they answer their own objections. So, you know, I make mistakes when I read, but I know it's okay to make mistakes. I don't have to be perfect. It's my child hearing my voice.
So it's parents supporting parents
exactly
through the whole process.
Exactly.
How do you select the books?
So one of the things that we look for, of course, is we want our books to be very interesting and child appropriate for their ages. And one of the things that we look for are books that have very beautiful and engaging pictures, because we want the families to be able to share books just based on the pictures alone. A lot of the parents, you know, for those that don't speak English as their first language, we definitely encourage them to tell stories using the pictures only.
And it seems like a lot of them are cultural books, which
One
is
of the
great.
ones we have here is in English and in Spanish. So you see the text is in both English and in Spanish, so that families can see both. But oftentimes it's just a lot of fun for families to just tell stories about the pictures that they see. And there are many, many different ways to share a book rather than reading a book from front to back.
Well, judging from the pictures that we just saw with the kids, they look really excited to be carrying their red bags.
Honestly, that's the secret sauce, is the kids going home, and the parents tell us that kids nag them to share books with them, which is wonderful. And one story from San Mateo County a few years ago was we had a mom who was in active labor on her way to the hospital, who stopped at her child's classroom to pick up the red bag because she knew the red bags were distributed the next day and she wouldn't be able to pick it up. So she stopped and picked it up and said, her child would be really upset if he didn't have his red bag.
And she was in labor.
She was on her way to the hospital. So
Super mom.
it's stunning the stories that we hear. We're so delighted though that it's changing lives.
You can't do this without some of the partnerships you have.
Absolutely. We're in, as you said earlier, we're a national organization. We're in 2,500 locations around the country. And our partners are agencies that work directly with families. So these are our agencies who are trusted. We have a number of corporate partners who support us, foundation partners who support us. Some of the pictures that you saw there are the Masons of California, a big partner.
Well, you're doing great work. You're doing great work. Thank you so much for coming on the show and telling us all about it. And for more information about Raising a Reader, log on to raisingareader.org. Again, that's raisingareader.org. Love that picture too. Coming up, a Bay Area dance company that empowers the disabled community.